What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about AMC stock. Okay, I'm going to be talking about exactly where I expect this stock go tomorrow, which is very important for you guys if you're thinking about adding to your position or if you're thinking about getting into it. If you haven't, we're also going to be talking about Wednesday, March 10th, after the close. They are expected to release their earnings. Okay, we're going to talk about exactly what to expect from that call, as it's not just going to be talking about the earnings, per share and revenue. We're also going to talk about some new options data, which is awesome. It's definitely on our side. And lastly, we are going to be talking about that May 4th shareholder meeting. There's a lot of things I've read on the internet. I've had people reaching out to me just saying, "Hey Jeff, like what do you expect from this? What do you see from this? What does this mean?" Okay, you got individuals saying this is going to be great for us as the retail investor. It's going to be good for us as we are trying to stick it to the hedge funds and force that squeeze to happen. Okay, and then you've also got people saying no, it's going to dilute it. Management is against us, okay, and the price is just going to drop from there. So we're going to talk about all of this, guys. All right, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. For those of you that are new to the channel, if you find any value in this video, please consider leaving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the family. If you are interested in joining our private community, it's the first link in the comments. We would love to have you over there, guys. All right, let's get into the video. First off, what I want to mention is last 2 weeks, guys, I talked about this in my Friday video. The market has taken a bit of a bloodbath, especially with the NASDAQ. It entered a point of correction. It was down 10%. Friday, we saw a little bit of reversal, getting some of our losses back, which is great news. Over the weekend, Congress has made even more progress towards the stimulus, which will help us and especially help the economy to start going again. Vaccines are continuing to be rolled out, which is good news for us in the stock market. I see the NASDAQ sell-off as being nothing of a transfer of money. I talked about it in my last video. Okay, all of your travel and leisure, your airlines, your financial stocks were really beaten down over the last year. Tech took a huge increase, saw huge gains, and investors were shifting their money out of it to get back over to those beaten down stocks. It's natural, okay? But what's more important for AMC is look at this line, guys. What I had talked about in previous videos about AMC was that 550 support. It was very, very strong, and we are seeing that again with $8. On February 26th, it closed over 801. All right, and we know how that was important for the call options in the money, which was great. That next Monday, March 1st, it came off to a rocket start, which was awesome. And then, considering the market was pretty volatile this week, it sold off for the most part. It still ended, although be it just 4 cents above where it closed the week prior, it still ended above, which is great news. For one, the stock, it shows people are still holding, they're not selling off on it. And then also now we are seeing that $8 as a good support, okay? You can see as it's going to start to increase, which is awesome. It's about 50% of where it was previously at 550, okay? So that's good news for us. Let's talk about what's expected to happen on Wednesday. Chances are they've missed for the last 5 quarters on their EPS forecast. You could probably expect a miss to happen again. Might affect the stock, but what is going to help the stock is the conversation of what management is going to be talking about. Okay, where they see the company going, where are their financials, how much cash on hand they have, how much they're going to be able to last, as well as where they see how many tickets have already been sold since the reopening. Okay, there's been news saying that some of these theaters have been sold out, and while there are occupancy restrictions, they're meeting those restrictions, which is good news. People want to go out. What I see here in Connecticut, in which we are still pretty restricted, I would say, compared to the rest of the country, people are eager to get out. Okay, the restaurants on the weekends are packed. People are ready to go out. Vaccines are rolling out. People are feeling much more comfortable after getting their vaccines. And while the percentage is still low, it's about 15% for 2 doses for us in Connecticut, which is good. Johnson & Johnson is rolling out the 1 dose. And, I even read the other day that, Fauci expected herd immunity potentially by June, July, which is great news. So they're going to be talking about that on that call. So it's not just the fact of them missing the EPS and missing, revenue being down. We know it's going to be down because they were shut down for a while. There's other conversations on that call, which could be good, positive catalyst for earnings. So just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? It's going to be released after the bell on Wednesday. Next up, options data. I'm always bullish, guys. If this is the first time you're seeing this video, check out barchart.com. Updates very, very quickly, especially when the market is open. We see a little bit of decrease in the options volume of AMC. However, we are back to a 3-to-1 call put ratio. It was at about a 4-to-1 ratio during the time of when it reached from 550 up to above that $8 mark, which was positive for us as bullish long investors. We saw it settle out about 1-to-1 ratio, 50-50, and now it is back at that 75-25 ratio, which is a 3-to-1 ratio, which is good news for us, especially Also, that March 19th is expected to be a very, very big date, as there are a lot of options set to expire for not just AMC, but many other stocks, but AMC most specifically, which is good news for us, guys. All right, lastly, let's get into this May 4th meeting. Okay, I'm going to go over exactly what I highlighted here and what this means for us as the long retail investors, especially because a lot of us are in this to not only get a profit, but also stick it to the hedge funds and get that squeeze rolling. So let's talk about this, guys. All right. So number one right here, to approve an amendment to our third amended and restated certificate of incorporation to increase the total number of shares of Class A common stock, okay, that shall have the authority to issue by 500 million shares. So a lot of people over the internet, guys, have said, okay, Jeff, what do you expect to happen from this? Okay, is this going to be diluting shares for us? All right, is this like what Nano Dimensions did and the stock is going to decrease? Well, we're going to cover all of that, okay? But first off, what I do want to mention is because of this news, chances are the stock will go down tomorrow. Might not be much, might be 5%, might be 8%, but chances are it will go down tomorrow because a lot of people are going to be scared by this, okay, and they're going to sell. So expect that for tomorrow of the stock potentially to go down. I would expect that. If it does go up based on the overall market just hitting off a mega rally, that's possible. However, I do expect to see AMC to go down because of that news, okay? Now let's talk about a couple different things. I've also had people reach out to me. First off, guys, we own Class A common shares, okay? That's why you heard as of their parent company, Wanda, one of their largest investors, converted their shares from Class B to Class A, potentially to be able to sell them. We don't really know why they did it, okay? Class B has higher voting power per number of shares than Class A, but we are the ones that own Class A, okay? So a couple things I want to point out to you guys is this is not a share issuance. It's not going to be diluting the shares, okay? They're looking to increase their ceiling in case they want to do another share issuance, okay? So if on May 4th, which is almost 2 months away from us, which is beyond potentially where I see if we are in this for, the squeeze to happen, I see it happening before that if it's going to happen, okay? But that's just the conversation. They have to vote on it, all right? If they do vote on it, it doesn't even mean they're going to do a share issuance. And if they did do a share issuance, it's still delayed out, okay? So it's just looking to increase that ceiling. A couple other things I want to point out to this is chances are management is on and the executives are on our side, okay? And the reason why I'm saying they're on our side is because the hedge funds have literally tried to bankrupt them, all right? At a time where you're already struggling, they tried to bankrupt them. Picture this, okay? If you are paying rent, you've paid your rent every single month on time, it's $1,000 a month, and you tell your landlord you lost your job, okay, and you're going to be getting unemployment benefits. However, it's 50% of what you're going to make, and you're going to do whatever you can, and you want to be honest with them, okay? And there's nothing you can really do about it, all right? You can't go out and get jobs now because the place is cut down. You think about back March, April, and the landlord says to you, okay, well, we're going to go from $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month. In like the worst time of need, where you need help, you're being vulnerable, and so forth, they're trying to stick it to you. Well, that's basically what these hedge funds have done to AMC, and especially being at the executives levels and the CEO, when you take over that, you are committing to doing everything in your power to increase the share price for shareholders. You're doing everything in your power to increase revenue, minimize, cost, and so forth. They're trying to literally stick it to you and screw you, okay? So that's why I believe that most importantly, the executive management is on our side, okay? Lastly, here's how this process kind of works, guys. In order for a publicly traded company to issue additional shares, okay, to raise their ceilings and so forth, there has to be an audit done. So when we talk about these naked shorts, okay, the illegal shorts, how many shares are specifically on the public market, this is going to be a time where they're going to have to audit, and there has to be an owner for every single share available, okay, which means potentially when this happens, that's when the hedge funds can be like, we need to try to cover. So there's also on the other inverse side of that is the hedge funds might also try even 10 times harder over the next few weeks to be able to really push that price down before they do have to cover all of the shares that they were paying interest on, okay? So I look at this, May 4th meeting as being positive, not only for us, but for AMC as a company, okay? So, the management, like I said, and the executives, They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their business. Nobody wants, they're not going to go out and try to get another high level executive job saying, yeah, I was a part of a company that failed, part of a company that went bankrupt. That's not good for their resume. Okay. So I believe this to be a good thing for us. I don't believe that they would immediately, look to raise the ceiling, do a huge share offering like that would be at 500 million to raise more capital, because it's just going to dilute the price that's already low. Okay. And it hasn't really been steadily rising, revenue still down and so forth. They're still at the very beginning. All right. They have enough cash on hand to be able to make it through. And like I said, as we start to return to a new form of normal, all right, more people are going to be, visiting their theaters. Okay, so I look at this as to be a good thing. Don't be scared of it. However, expect potentially for tomorrow the news to drive the price down, and then also expect for the next couple of weeks the hedge funds to really try to drive this price down as much as they can before they have to cover the shorts that have not been covered yet. So guys, that's it for this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know other information that maybe you found that I didn't know. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.